Zach, the question we've asked is, what's the bigger offensive problem, the scheme or the players?
Both are correct. We are asking which is more impactful to maybe the rest of the season or what the Tennessee Titans represent in 2022. That's the question we're asking.
Yeah, both are issues. Which is a bigger issue? So, Zach, I think the scheme is the bigger issue. Like the players have ability. They've scored 24 points in the first half in back-to-back games. And the Colts defense is pretty good. And like they held the Chiefs to 17 points. They've done a lot of good things this season. They've got a lot of good players on it. But I think it's the scheme. And I'm going to go and call on our James Foster of A to Z Sports Film Room, who was on with Buck Rising on 104.5 The Zone yesterday. And Buck asked him, is there a something that James sees when he watches the film about why they're so bad in the second half?
First half, and especially in the first couple drives, every specific detail of the Titans offense makes sense. Wherever they feel like the weaknesses in the offensive line, they've got, support from a running back or a tight end to close that off. The routes have perfect spacing. They've got the right guys on the correct side of the formation, like all that kind of stuff. And then as we get into the second half, they're just, there's little issues with play design. It's not necessarily, calling this run play was bad or calling this pass play was bad. But, the second play of the third quarter, the Titans run play action boot, essentially what is like weak side flood. So they're faking a run to the right, and then Tannehill rolls out to the left, a designed rollout, and then you've got like 3 routes coming towards that sideline. The Titans run that concept about 5 times per game. By running that to the weak side, meaning there's no tight end on the side that Ryan Tannehill is rolling out to, he just gets immediate pressure. And that's what happened on the second play of the second half. Tannehill rolls out. Dayo Odeyingbo doesn't even have to engage with Dennis Daly's block. He can just take one lateral step, and then he's got a clear path to Ryan Tannehill. There's nothing that he can do about that. So you're pretty much just banking on them biting really hard on that run fake, and if they don't, then the play is doomed from the beginning. So that's one example.
So that's just one example. And James, go check that out. It was a really good interview with Buck Rising yesterday on The Zone. But that's a scheme problem. That's putting your players in a position to not succeed. Why would you run that to the weak side, as James eloquently put out, where you don't have the extra tight end there to either chip the end or be the quick throw route? Because how many times have we watched over the years Ryan Tannehill roll out to his right, and then he either throws the ball quickly to a tight end in the flats who gains 10 yards, or he shakes that defender, runs the ball, or throws down the field because there was somebody there. There was the hot route. In this particular example, it was a loss of 12 on a sack because Tannehill did not have that option there, and there was nobody else there to help out Daly with the scheme. So the scheme is hurting the players, and the Titans know what they have in their roster. So why are they putting their roster in a bad situation? Why are you putting Dennis Daly, your backup left tackle that you traded for in late August from a different team, who is now your starter? Why would you put him in a situation where it's hard for him to succeed? Like, they set Dennis Daly up to fail on that play out of the huddle, like out of the headset from Todd Downing. And so I think the scheme is the bigger issue, because the coach can avoid that. The coach can fix that and help the players. The players scored 24 points in the first half against the Colts. The players also scored 24 points in the first half against the Raiders without turnovers by the Raiders offense that they got against the Colts, right? So I think it's the scheme.
Shane, I think, puts my response in words. They don't have the quality of players to be able to do the scheme poorly. The room for error for this roster, though, is paper thin.